What's up? What's up? What's up? I've been here the whole time, never left. This is Tyson Apostol, obviously, because I've been here since the dawn of time. And this is News AF. And I started it way different than Rob would have. I think Rob goes live from my apartment.
No, I don't think he does something else.
Yeah, he does something else. Anyways, I'm here with some co-hosts, Danny Bryson, D-Bro, as we've always called him.
Mm-hmm.
D-Bro.
Fast Killer D.
Fast Killer D. Oh, I thought you said Fast Killer D.
Oh, sick, dude. Yeah, I can be Fast Killer D, but no, Vascular D just rolls off the tongue.
It does. Where are you, Danny? That I know our listeners are wondering why your voice changed. And
well, okay, yeah, I'm just going through puberty apparently.
Okay.
But I am in Switzerland and I was running quickly to get to this podcast and I was getting very close to puking. And so this is like my body preemptively preparing my throat for puking.
Wow. So the burn of the puke, did it reach a burning sensation or no?
I did the coughing. That was as far as it got. And then then I got to the train. So I've been trying to just calm it all down so I could do this podcast and I don't throw up all over my computer.
Well, that would be something. If you do that and your camera's not on, we would be disappointed.
I know. I sound like RFK, which when I heard his voice for the first time, I couldn't even believe that a person could live with a voice like that.
Yeah, you aren't going to take health advice from that guy.
No. Oh, no. That's the graveliest voice. It's about as graveled as it gets.
Yeah. We are also here with another co-host filling in for Rob while Rob is MIA. We've got Brandon Donlon. Brandon.
Hey, I like Fast Killer B if we can do that. Like if we're handing out nicknames, I'll take Fast Killer B, you know?
Okay. So we have
hold on.
We have Vascular D and Fast Killer B.
Yeah, that is pretty
If
cool.
nobody's using it, if it's up for grabs, I would take it. I could, if Danny, if you want two nicknames, I can think of another one, I'm sure. But
no, that's fine.
Your hair
Your hair is a Fast Killer B hair. I like it.
I know, but
flow to it.
You sound disappointed, like you wanted a backup nickname, Danny.
You should always have a backup nickname.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
always.
You should. It is true.
Yeah, you
should
always
think of all the gamer tags you need throughout life. You got to create lists of names.
That's true, because somebody already has your gamer tag somewhere.
Always.
Yeah, that's for certain. It's gamer tags. In a way, they're like fingerprints because they can only. But in another way, they're not, because your gamer tag exists on a different platform somewhere else that belongs to a different person that's not you. So we're here to cover all the craziest news of the week. There's probably a song that we were supposed to play. Do we play that song or not play that song, Brandon? The News AF song.
Well,
the
song.
Head.
Yeah, play. Everybody should. Yeah, so
should have played it in their head.
A moment of silence for the song.
You don't even have to do that. The editors can just make a moment of silence for us, Danny.
Let's do a moment of silence. I think that's Rob's not here.
That's true. We did do a 15-second moment of silence when Danny was gone a while ago, and it felt like an eternity.
Yeah, it does. Whenever I leave the room.
Yeah, it wasn't you being absent that felt like an eternity, Danny. It was this 15-second moment of silence that was really trying for us. I wanted to say.
Well, I can't handle silence.
Okay,
silence isn't something I can do.
When Danny speaks on this, it's like, you ever see like Her with Joaquin Phoenix, where the guy falls in the AI. Like, you don't see Danny's face, but you can see him like pulsing when he speaks because the camera's off. I feel like we could fall in love, Tyson, if we're not careful.
We could, with who we believe is an artificial intelligence. Is that like the new catfish? Is like, oh, I'm in love with an artificial intelligence, but there was a human behind it the whole time.
Dude, yeah, in love with the pulse. I'm in love with the pulsating avatar
that I think is just AI, and I love it so much. And then you find out it's real. That's the love story, because
dude, I just got pulsed.
Yeah. Then there's a human behind it. So you're like, oh, I love this thing that can never be. And they're like, surprise, it can be.
And by the way, the human is always a disappointment behind the pulsing avatar.
Yes, always. Well, let's get into stories because all of this sounds kind of psychopathic. And that's where our first story will lead us. The 4 states where psychopaths are most likely to live. Probably Arizona. I got accused of
Washington State. I'm just going to guess Washington State.
That feels like a good guess. I like that guess a lot. I mean, again, growing up in New Jersey, I feel like my immediate guess is New Jersey. I've met a couple.
Probably a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, psychopaths have some traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism.
Tyson, hold on. Let me just clarify something before people from Washington State get mad. I didn't say that willy-nilly. I said that because
you have in-laws there.
Green River Killer, my in-laws.
Is it because you have in-laws there? Okay.
Yeah.
All your in-laws often listed in that same sequence with Ted Bundy and who you said in the middle,
Yeah, exactly. They're all from there.
Well, I've got bad news for you, Danny.
No. Am I wrong?
You're wrong. Would you like to hear the 4 highest states coming in at number 1? No, let's go back. Well, I don't know it doesn't tell me who is listed as who. Let's see. Maybe I can get a full breakdown. The highest are, in no particular order. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm anticipating, sweating, and just can't wait.
Nevada.
Of course. Have you ever been to Nevada?
Yeah, I have, dude. Like,
it is so empty with these weird ranch houses out on the desert plain.
And a lot of them were like radioactive testing sites during World War II. So
plus random donkeys just everywhere.
Yeah. You are living in the like, I imagine sagebrush just tumbling through with nobody around. Nevada coming in very high. Louisiana.
Okay, also, the bayou, good place. That would drive you crazy. The humidity, the warmth. I'm sure the mosquitoes.
Yeah. New York.
Oh,
Wall Street probably brings in a bunch.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Texas.
Oh, yeah. Big state. Easy to lose your mind with all that space.
Yeah, it really is. It's important to know that this headline was created by using survey people. Across all 50 states, they use data from at least 100 participants in each state.
Would they identify themselves as psychos?
I mean, if you're like, okay, hey, you get $100 to take a panel. It's at 3:30 in the morning. Like, I think the time.
And do you eat pizza crust first?
Yeah, I think the timing of the panel probably has a huge impact on whether or not you're just attracting psychopaths. Like, there's probably a time in the day where psychopaths are more active or are willing to do something for $100,
like their own witching hour.
Yeah.
And it's always at night. They're always doing things at the 1, 2, 3 a.m. hour.
Yeah. Those people you see on the street.
How do you know, Brandon?
I get notifications on my phone of when they're up to bad stuff in the area. I see local psychopath, and I'm in New York, so I see many of them. Florida not on the list is interesting. You'd think,
that's just how people in Florida are.
Yeah, they don't identify psychopaths because they're not ratting each other out.
Yeah, or maybe those are just Florida traits, but it doesn't necessarily also align with being a psychopath.
Sure.
Psychopaths do appear at night, it seems like, or at least they're cover. Like, I think they use the normals as cover throughout the day, but then as everybody who's normal goes to sleep, you're left with just the psychopaths prowling the street at night.
Yeah.
Looking for whatever they do.
Okay. Well, the study suggests that higher levels of dark traits may be influenced by unfavorable societal conditions such as poverty, not parverty, poverty.
Who we love, by the way.
Who we love.
There's an important distinction there.
Yeah. Crime, inequality, and scarcity of resources.
So I got the vibe that it seems like rich people could be psychos, might be psychos. It's weird they say poverty.
Yeah. So Nevada,
if you're poor, you're too tired to be a psycho at the end of the day. Seems like you really can let your psycho out if you've got the time and resources.
Yeah, but you
also
have nothing to lose if you are
yeah, that's true.
If you have zero wealth. Well, Nevada scores high, likely due to gambling culture linked to risky behavior.
Sure. I was gonna say, is the psychopath contingent, are they in Vegas or are they on the outskirts? They're in the random pockets that the ranch towns.
Where you go through and there's one little gas station with 2 slot machines, and the guy at
with the wooden door that's slapping in the wind.
The guy on the slot machine in that place is the psychopath.
Sure.
And they're like, hey, we'll pay you $100 to take this psychopath test. I'm in. I need $100 to gamble.
Yeah.
So
he's on the hot spot at the gas station. He's connecting.
Oh yeah. Best place to gamble, right, Tyson?
Yes, that's right.
Slot machines.
That's right. South Dakota suffers from high poverty and inequality, poor healthcare, and limited resources. New York and Texas experience stark economic inequality. Are you feeling that there, Brandon?
I feel like I'm okay, but I go to you go to the grocery store and you're Cheerios are $12 in the grocery store I go to.
Whoa, that'll drive you crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't even want them. It's not even like
By
I was
the way,
looking forward to getting them.
I did see some psychopathic behavior here. Super hot in a train. So heat, I think, increases the psychopathic trait.
Yeah.
Super hot. Someone was coming out of the train. Someone was trying to go in, almost led to a fist fight. And I thought, this is due to the heat. These people on an average day of 75 degrees, completely normal. Pack them into a train at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Humanity gets stripped away.
All of it just immediately back to the dark ages.
Yeah. Animals, those animals from 2002 where they're beating the bones in that Kubrick film. Is that Space Odyssey 2001?
Maybe. I haven't seen it.
Well, there's a great scene where these
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, where they discover the monolith that gives them intelligence, I'm assuming. They're jumping up and down with the bones, beating stuff. That's what we turn into.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On a train.
People have the debate whether you'd rather be too hot or too cold. I've never understood anybody who'd rather be too cold. I love to be cold. You know what I mean? Why would you want to be hot?
I'd rather be.
The problem with heat, trapped in a confined space with heat, is just the worst.
Yeah.
No, but you can survive too hot. You can't survive too cold.
No, you can die from too hot.
Not me.
Okay, you're the exception.
Yeah. And you've always said that too. You're like, when you interview for jobs, you say, "Well, I can get hot. It'll be fine if I get too hot." Yeah. Cold, you just get tired. Like you don't
cold. You just get tired. Like you're in a t-shirt with like 40 degrees.
Yeah, and then eventually you fall asleep.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Have a happy life.
Great.
Yeah, everybody's in on that. Okay, well, there's all these bullet points or these little check marks that they were looking at. Louisiana is on the list because of their high homicide rates. So,
yeah.
So a lot of murderers are generally psychopaths.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just talks about all of that. So it looks like, as I'm looking down this, that there's psychopaths everywhere. But Alaska, Oregon, and much of the Rocky Mountain states have some of the lowest rate for psychopathism.
That's Danny.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Danny. Yeah. Am I in the Rocky Mountain states? No, I'm not. Arizona doesn't have the Rocky Mountains here, but I can go one state over in 3 directions. I border 3 Rocky Mountain states.
Okay.
Yeah, drive over and get some of that anti-psycho air elevation, and then drive back to Arizona. Make it a pilgrimage like every 6 months.
Yes.
Are you near the 4 Corners?
Yep.
You know where that is? That's near you?
Yeah, that's why all 3 of those. Arizona is one of the 4 Corners.
Right.
The other 3 are all Rocky Mountain states.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's a great place to get the Honda virus. 4 Corners. I think the bubonic plague still hangs out there.
You think we should go get it?
Well, I'm advising against going there if you can avoid it.
Well, We've always said on this podcast, try not to be a psychopath if you can help it. But if you have to be, then be a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. And
is this next story about a psychopath? Would you consider Ozzy?
do you want to talk about Ozzy Osbourne?
I think it segues nicely.
Okay.
Ozzy tried to put out the psychopath like image.
I was gonna talk about Insane Clown Posse when you're
that's
bands,
basically the same thing.
Let's talk about Ozzy first.
Close cousins. Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne's DNA will be sold in limited edition liquid death cans.
What form
of
DNA? Like a cheek swab?
I'm guessing semen.
Blood.
I'm guessing semen, but let me look.
That's where we always go.
Yeah,
that's where we always go.
Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne is officially the Prince of Immortality, or at least he's giving fans a shot at it. I don't think, as I've seen Ozzy Osbourne age, I do not think he's immortal.
I actually think he's the poster boy for the downfall of mortality. Yeah. If you want to see someone who's aged worse than Gollum, it's like he's probably a prime candidate.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was on like that Ozzy Osbourne television show, and you're like, who is that like crippled old man? You're like, it's Ozzy, and he wasn't even that old.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is true. He's like,
now they're going to wheel 55. Him out on stage for his final concert.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Wow. There is. So I'm trying to figure out here. There's a very limited run of iced tea cans from Liquid Death that contain traces of Ozzy Osbourne's DNA. Only 10 cans.
We spend most of our life trying to avoid traces of other people's DNA.
Yeah.
Ingesting it.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird that this is counterintuitive to all of that.
Is this a Willy Wonka situation where you have to keep buying it until you eventually get that lucky one?
Why did that taste so salty? You're like, oh, surprise! At the bottom of the can, you're like, hey, you just drank up some of Ozzy. Like, sweet.
I'm not understanding. It seems like he drank out of the cans, and then they resealed them.
That is so gross.
So he took a sip out of the can and then they resealed it. But if they reseal it, they probably did something to it so that it's like fine. Because what if you buy the can and it's all bloated? Like there's obviously botulism in it. You're not drinking from that. Like they have
like a can of beans that's 25 years old.
Yes. And you are like, oh, this thing's about to explode with botulism. Should I eat it?
Throw it in a fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
by the way, if you bought Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, you also got DNA.
Yeah,
probably a lot more.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that. Did you guys cover that story?
Yeah, we did.
It was last week.
I saw it pop up. So if you imagine this: you're in the shower, washing off with Sydney Sweeney's soap while cracking a can of Ozzy Osbourne's DNA.
Sure.
He used to give it away for free to hundreds of gals after.
Yeah. A lot of people were doing that. I feel like the customers for the Sydney Sweeney soap and the customers for whatever this product is, no overlap. We're one really weird
two separate circles that are a mile apart on a Venn diagram.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Also, that Sydney Sweeney soap was going for like $3,000 a bar on eBay. These are only being sold for $450. You know what's going to be really embarrassing if not all 10 of them sell? Does Ozzy get on and buy them himself?
He has to
super high price.
He has to. I think he has to jump on and buy them immediately, if like within the second of them being released, which they were released yesterday, Tuesday. And so, interesting. Danny, would you rather have Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap or Ozzy Osbourne DNA can?
I love Black Sabbath. Top 10 favorite bands. But when he went solo, I wasn't a huge fan.
Even Crazy
There are
Train?
some hits there. Yeah, there are some hits there.
Okay.
But so I'm going with the Sweeney bar.
The Sweeney bar. Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon?
I think I'll go with, because I'm on the website on liquiddeath.com.
Yeah.
To buy the can, you can pay in installments
Ooh, Klarna.
Hell Klarna.
Hell Klarna.
Hell Klarna. They are using Shop Pay, which I think is a cousin of Klarna. But you can pay 4 interest-free installments or $40 for the year. And if you're looking for a way to build credit without taking out a car loan or something, maybe this
is it.
The place is to buy the Ozzy Osbourne can.
And when they're
this is
searching
interesting.
frantically for some DNA of Ozzy in 1,000 years, boom.
Yeah.
This is good for a time capsule.
And what if, for some reason, Ozzy does end up living forever? Like, he just, like, when you think of living forever and being immortal, you think of being like, you know, in your 30s or 40s and just stopping there and living forever. But maybe you don't stop until you're 92, and that's decrepit state is what you are now eternally locked into. Which is that better than nothing?
That's a prison sentence.
Yeah, that is a prison
I'd
sentence.
rather be dead.
Yeah.
And, well, speaking of rather being dead.
Oh, nice.
Insane Clown Posse accidentally headlines Bonnaroo after Rain forces festival shutdown.
So who was meant to headline? That's what I need to know.
I think it was P. Diddy or R. Kelly. Let me look.
It's not a good business idea, but if you were to do like a music festival and offload everybody, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want to pay for it, but maybe they do that in like a Alcatraz or somewhere. Where
that is hilarious. You put all the disgraced musicians on one tour and just be like the tour of disgrace. And it's just like the worst criminals from the music industry are all in one place.
Is Alcatraz.
I love it.
It's Guantanamo.
Guys, this picture gallery, by the way, just scroll through some of those pictures. It'll get you
it looks
a little disappointed you weren't able to make it.
Yeah.
I had friends who did go to this Bonnaroo and they had to go home. I don't know if they even saw ICP out there, but they left.
Oh, good use of ICP. I like that.
Yeah.
You got to abbreviate. It sounds, if I was going to see them, I would say ICP to save the second where they know that I want
not get stabbed.
Yeah.
Insane Clown Posse. Yeah, people are really digging this.
Well, all these pictures aren't from the ICP one, but you definitely do see some. What are they? What is the fans of the ICP called? There's a name for them. Juggalos. Well, there definitely is.
Yeah.
They're young too. I would have expected the average Juggalo age to be around 40, 45.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're still pulling in some young generations.
I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to be totally honest here.
Yeah.
For how much we talk about Insane Clown Posse and the fact that I even know they exist, I have probably even listened to songs from Insane Clown Posse, but there is not a song that comes to mind whenever I hear that name. All I think about is the face paint and how embarrassed I would be if I liked Insane Clown Posse.
My first exposure to ICP was Workaholics.
Yeah, that's it. And they played songs on there. Oh, I'd heard of it before. And that's the beauty of the joke with it. But Faygo is like a drink. Is that just soda or is that alcoholic in nature? I don't know what it is. I think it's just some type of soda.
I believe that is a fun soda. I don't know what it is, but I believe it's a fun soda.
And so that's their thing. They love to drink Faygo. Mm-hmm. And
you know quite a bit, Tyson, already.
Yeah. And well, I mean, they're dancing around like a whole pallet of Faygo on stage here. And then
you're right.
So let's say you sign up to go to Bonnaroo. Brandon, you said you had friends went to Bonnaroo, and the festival was cut short, but not before getting to see some of these acts: Insane Clown Posse, Crumb Snatchers,
love
Courting, Rebecca Black.
Wait. Oh. Rebecca Black, is she the one who had like the worst
Friday
song?
Yeah.
Yes, Friday. Oh, look at her stepping up.
Sophia Izella, and it seems like those were all it. So I feel like if you bought tickets to Bonnaroo and you showed up, at least you weren't disappointed because you got to see these 5 acts before everything got cut short. Yeah. So
I guess, did they perform before the rain? Is that why they got to perform, or did they say the show must go on?
They said we do one show a year. this is our only booking for 2025. We're going to stay while everybody else left. Cause I don't know, some of that equipment probably in the rain doesn't hold up well, or, risk of,
No, you
electrocution.
coat all the equipment with some Fago.
Okay.
And the water just beads off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess my concern would be the face paint in the rain. You'd think it just looks worse if it's
that's what they want, though. That's how Insane Clown Posse gets their signature look anyways, is either crying or sweat or rain.
Mm-hmm.
So
I Googled just now to see if Insane Clown Posse ever made it onto a Now That's What I Call Music CD. And they haven't. So they don't, it's like if they had a hit, it would be there, and it's not there. Yeah. There's no Kids Bop appearance. They are.
Yeah. You don't get on, you don't get on Spotify and be like Insane Clown Posse and be like, oh, here's their top hit. It has 84 billion downloads. Like there's no, I don't know. Maybe they created a community that is just so tight knit that they're just living off of all of those guys, which is cool, I guess. But if you were trying to get out of Bonnaroo and everyone was trying to get out at the same time, there's a Florida man who figured it out. He was convicted of posing as a flight attendant to score more than 100 free flights.
How? Yeah. How did he pull off this con?
That's what we're going to find out here. 35-year-old South Florida man booked more than 120 free airline flights by posing as a flight attendant. So let me plan this. But first of all, how would you go about it? Vascular D, and then I'll turn to you, Fast Killer B. But
how do I pull off this con?
Yeah.
Well, you can't play the Catch Me Now card where you dress up and that's all you need. Yeah. I feel like you need like some signing credentials from someone.
So it seems kind of like that. Apparently this is what happened.
Yes.
I'm just trying to, because there's two separate stories here, but he was exploiting a program intended for airline staff. And basically he submitted false information through airline carriers' employees' flight booking system and claimed to be a flight attendant with 7 different airlines. So it seems like there's like some universal system, but you can get on, and like there, for some reason, they don't have like a good way of keeping tabs on who's who. So he's just like, oh yeah, I work with these guys. And
they probably found out when there was like someone took a huge like poo in the lavatory, like we need extra help, all attendants on hand.
Yeah. And that's
they called him up. And he's like, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
He provided roughly 30 fake badge numbers and hire dates. Ooh. So is that like the social security number thing where you just go to like a back alley somewhere? You're like, I need a fake badge number so I can fly for free and 2 social security numbers.
Hey man, you got any badges? Oh yeah. Come look in the trunk. What do you want?
You
United, Delta?
Yeah.
JetBlue.
Big jacket.
No, JetBlue.
He also impersonated being a flight attendant on 3 other airline carriers. So it sounds like he did work as a flight attendant.
Oh, he served drinks.
Some situations.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
A flight attendant, if you fly often, not to say that the flight attendant job is easy, but if you fly often, you can nail it. If you can be the flight attendant in the event that you needed to impersonate the flight attendant.
Yeah, you take someone else's lead. I think being the lead flight attendant might be a trick, but like if you have someone delegating and telling you what to do, because there's always also like a bum employee at places where maybe you're just like sitting in the back on your phone and Martha is like, hey, Tyson, you can't be on your phone right now. You got to, and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. And then I go and do the thing and then come back and get on my phone again. And Martha's like, hey, Tyson, you got to do this Tyson, right now. Yeah. And you're like, oh,
urinator on row 12.
On row 12. Go pretend like you're going to forcibly stop him, even though you can't touch anybody.
Yeah. Plus, I think the way that I'd go about convincing, I think, the other flight attendants that I was a flight attendant is I would talk shit about the other flight attendants that we were there with, because if you're just doing the boilerplate job, fine. But to get really in the spirit, you say, hey, like they're, seems like, Todd's slacking off. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
saw him, he's skimping on the apple juice, Todd, when he pours it, That's what I do.
Yeah.
Todd. Poor Todd.
Poor Todd.
Breast stinks. Have you ever noticed how bad his breast stinks?
Yeah. You get really personal with it, would I think help if you know.
Yeah. He thinks his farts don't smell when he passes gas on the plane, but he does. He crop dusts like all the time.
Oh my gosh, all the time. I think
right behind the beverage cart.
I think if I were a flight attendant, I would be crop dusting nonstop because you move up and down the aisle so much.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, the time allotted for crop dusting is so vast where it's almost like it's not even if it's not intentional, it's just it can happen for so much of the flight.
Yeah. So this guy is facing up to 30 years in prison.
Whoa.
Which is
seems
what?
Excessive.
If your crime doesn't hurt anybody and it is like kind of on paper cool, I do think we should consider that. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I think we should consider.
I think it sounds like you're trying to institute a cool jury. So it goes to the cool jury after the sentencing. And it's like, cool jury, what do you think? It's like, pretty cool. Let's reduce it by 10 years.
So how do we determine whether or not someone gets a cool jury? Like, because you would want to have like, okay, so there's a list of crimes that are like pretty cool, and then they get like a cool jury. Like how
they go to the cool tribunal. And the cool tribunal decides whether or not the crime fits the coolness.
Okay.
Or the cool jury is the regular jury, but when we say like, okay, we need the cool jury, everybody just puts on sunglasses, and then it's cool jury.
Will that change their attitude about the crime?
Yeah, absolutely. You put on sunglasses, you feel so cool.
Yeah. I think. And it's along the same lines. If it's a crime against the airlines that doesn't hurt anyone except for the airline specifically, we should all.
That's cool.
We should all.
Yeah, we should.
They took down somebody that we're all pretty adamant that we don't care for.
Yes, that's exactly right. So
I'll bail this guy out. Give me the money. Give me the price. I'll
listen.
It was cool. I love to talk to him.
I don't know if he's in jail right now, but what would be hilarious is if he poses as a flight attendant to bounce out of the country. Like he's just.
I thought you were going to say a prison guard.
And
go back to the badge guy, get some prison guard badges.
Oh, that's a good idea too. He should get those made beforehand and then keister them.
Keister.
This is what Catch Me If You Can is about, right? He does a bunch of people's jobs. He just does,
He just poses. I think he posed as like a doctor. He posed as he did a bunch of stuff. And that was before the time of YouTube, even like that movie about a man who, before YouTube was even a thing, figured out how to do people's jobs. Because now it's super easy. Like I could go pose as a dentist and they'd be like, you got to do a root canal. I'd be like, just a second. And then I put how to do a root canal on YouTube.
Everyone's posing like stuff on TikTok.
It would show me how to do everything.
A TikTok dentist.
Yeah, I can do a bunch of stuff.
I pay for YouTube Premium, so I can do like the offline download of YouTube videos.
I
do have a video saved of like how to land a plane in the event that one needs
Oh my gosh, you really do?
In the event, I do. I swear I could show you. In the event that we're going down and that we need somebody,
I've seen a video. I've got to save one. I can do this.
Is anybody here a pilot? I have YouTube Premium. And they're like, get up here.
There's a lot of Survivor 45 promos that I have saved, but once I find the video of the flight landing, we can do this. We can nail it.
Well, I'm only traveling with Brandon from now on.
Smart.
Whereas I call him Fast Killer B.
I don't want to be Fast Killer behind the wheel of the plane,
Yeah.
Don't share the nickname.
But we'll be like, it's for other things.
Sure.
Yeah, he didn't get his nickname for flying planes. It's for other things.
It's for running.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are unsafe, like letting Brandon fly a plane, some Jolly Rancher sweets unsafe to eat. FSA says we've known that forever. The first time you try to bite into a Jolly Rancher, you understand that they are not safe.
The top of your tooth shatters like glass. Or even worse.
Yeah.
You bite so hard down, on it so hard it seals your mouth shut by gluing the two teeth together. Have you ever had that happen?
Yes, I have had that happen. Or like it gets stuck on the roof of your mouth. And you're
it's like a Chinese finger trap for your teeth.
And also, it's hard to eat and then also horrible for you. There's no, it's not like once you get it down, it's like it'll give you benefits in your, your intestines. It's bad all around.
Listen, how
it's like
unsafe
a candy from the 50s.
Yeah. I never liked the Jolly Ranchers at all because they took too long to eat. It's like I can eat a pound of licorice, or I can take in like half an hour, or I can take 3 hours to try and figure out how to get this little watermelon Jolly Rancher into my stomach by chewing it.
And you're relieved. You're relieved when it gets small. You're like, oh my gosh, I thought that would never happen.
There's no enjoyment. You're just trying to get through it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
It's like watching TV now. There's so many shows, and you turn one on, you're like, well, fuck it. We're half an hour into episode 1. We got to watch all 5 seasons now. And there's no going back. That's how these Jolly Ranchers are. Like, you wish that you had the willpower to just spit it out on the side of the road and move on to a more delicious candy, but you can't.
Somebody told me that with Sons of Anarchy. They were pitching me Sons of Anarchy, and they were like, once you get to season 4 out of 6, like once you get to, you're flying. Like, so there's 20 episodes. I got to watch 80 episodes of the show before you get into it.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time. I'm good.
No.
I watched the first 15 minutes of Severance. Didn't understand it. Haven't seen it since.
Yeah, I've watched half of the first episode of Game of Thrones like 7 times and been like, not for me. There wasn't enough orgies early on, I don't think.
Sure. They should open with that.
They should open with that. Yeah, there's going to be more orgies. Just stay with us. So this product, and this is interesting. So it's listed as unsafe to eat. It contains an ingredient that could damage DNA and increase risk of cancer. But if Ozzy Osbourne ate a Jolly Rancher before spitting into bottles of liquid death, and then you go and get it tested, and they're like, this isn't Ozzy's DNA. And then they could just claim that he had Jolly Rancher. So now anytime DNA doesn't match, you can just say, Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, they're like, this is the DNA of a primate with brain damage, not Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the Jolly Rancher.
It's all because
it's
of
like
Jolly
flushing
Rancher.
your mitochondria and like destroying your sequencing.
If you're going to commit a crime and you're listening to this, go all in on the Jolly Ranchers right beforehand, and then nobody will tell it's you,
Yeah, that's actually smart.
Just like eating Jolly Ranchers nonstop for like 6 weeks preparing to rob a bank.
Which really, that's like how bad you want it too, because the experience of the Jolly Rancher is so unpleasant. It's like if you can make it, then you deserve to.
Then the cool jury comes in and exonerates you from robbing the bank because you were able to lock down 10 pounds of Jolly Ranchers a day just to change your DNA. So
and the Jolly Rancher changed your personality. So after like a month of Jolly Ranchers, you're just so angry all the time. You're primed up to rob a bank.
You are. So the other thing too, though, so you're like, okay, I'm going to rob a bank in like 6 months, eat only Jolly Ranchers, get my DNA changed. But then once I get to the bank, I have to be sure to jizz all over so that they have DNA so that then I can prove it's not me. Otherwise, okay.
Blood too.
Sure. Yes. But you have to spill some DNA there. The whole Jolly Rancher thing doesn't even work.
Or do a cheek swab right in front of the teller and just be like, I don't
hand
even
it
care.
to him.
Flick it in their face like a cigarette.
And is that cool? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Well, because you need the cool points for the cool
Everybody's
tribunal.
watching, like, this guy doesn't care. And then you have to run home and get as healthy as you can as quickly as possible in hopes that your DNA returns. So
we got to do a Jolly purge.
Yeah. What's the
Jolly Purge is, it's like they made the Purge, but that's the Christmas movie.
Yeah,
That's
Jolly
the
Purge is vicious on the body. It
Yeah.
requires to drink nothing but I don't even know, like lemon tea for a month.
Yeah. The good news for people here after this bad news about Jolly Ranchers is that nobody ate Jolly Ranchers to begin with. So it affects a very small population.
It would be embarrassing for them to come out with a statement like, hey, if you've had Jolly Ranchers recently, like, come see us. And they get no calls. Nobody calls them back. Like, oh, I think we found a bigger problem. Nobody's buying the product.
Except for, no, people are buying the product, but it's only at Halloween when it's the cheapest thing to buy, goes in the Halloween bags and then straight in the trash. So nobody's eating it. People are buying it because
I actually think that this might be a good test for psychopaths. If you love Jolly Ranchers, you like hanging out at 3 a.m. and you eat pizza backwards.
Yeah,
probably a psychopath.
Sure. Do you at Halloween, both of you, do you stand there with the bowl and administer, or do you have the bowl outside the door and then people can
No,
take
I
it?
administer. I hand it out.
Our neighborhood is pretty dark and quiet, but like in like a wealthy type of way.
Ooh.
Yeah, not in
Okay.
the way of the psychopathic neighborhoods.
Yes,
it's a good one.
And we put a bowl out and had 0 people pull from the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I would have. I think if I would have kept the porch lights on and done other things, we would have had more. But we just took off for the evening and left a bowl.
Was it a bowl of Jolly Ranchers with a sign said "Take as many as you want"?
No, it was like the 2 different bag mixes of like the Hershey chocolate.
Oh yeah, the
bars.
Costco bag mix.
Yeah, and then like the dots and stuff like that. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of what's another. I mean, I'm just seeing the headlines here, and the 70-year-old man who peed on Spam and Vienna sausages for you.
Oh,
Vienna,
I saw it. $10,000 in damage.
For you Vienna sausage fans out there.
We know you're out there.
We know you're out there.
We know you're here.
Yeah.
What size of a pallet is $10,000 worth of Spam?
Yeah.
Like the amount of money I saw in the headline made me appreciate this guy's stream. Very healthy for his age.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it touched it at all, though, all you had to do was like sprinkle spray all the way across the top, right?
So $8,000.
Yeah.
If you go into this was in a Sam's Club, I saw. If you go into a Sam's Club to pee on a product, put yourself in his shoes? Are you looking for a product to pee on, like a specific product, or are you just going to where nobody can see you? Like with Spam and Vienna sausages, was that intentional on his?
That's in a dark corner. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there.
Yeah, there's nobody there. Around. And you're also like, I got to pee. I have to pee somewhere privately. I want to ruin the product that nobody's buying so that nobody's mad at me. Hopefully, it doesn't seem like he had a bunch of Jolly Ranchers beforehand, because otherwise they'd have a hard time tracking him down with all the DNA. If
he had peed on the nerd clusters, that would have been like $50,000 in damage.
Yeah. And the cool jury would definitely not let him go.
Oh, they come down hard because you also have anti-cool jury.
Yeah, you have the anti-cool jury, which is definitely like full
a sentence enhancer.
Yeah, both the cool jury and the not cool jury are for the people. It's not so much about the crime; it's about how did you help humanity by committing the crime, or was
I sentenced this guy to 50 years of shame as a member of the cool jury.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Do you think he was?
For sure.
So it looks like he was at Sam's Club. So now I'm assuming he was at Sam's Club because he was already banned at Costco. So now where is he going to get his wholesale goods?
I believe BJ's is next on the list.
BJ's or Winco.
Oh, we don't have Winco out here.
He was just protesting the absence of Faygo.
Yeah, he was.
I was told there was Faygo here.
Yeah. It's in the article. They don't even mention that he had full clown makeup on, which is crazy. He went in with a mission.
The perfect heist here would be to have his family or his I'm assuming he's a crime genius, have his crime partner out by the dumpster waiting for all the Spam and Vienna sausages to get dumped. Because they're still in cans. All you have to do is rinse them off.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Listen, you wipe a little bit of it off. If you're hungry, you're going, it's not that big of a deterrent.
Yeah. $10,000 of bologna and Spam. I mean, you're eating like kings for a week.
Yeah. Think of all the protein.
It's good. Bulking up.
Yeah.
This is the greatest diet ever.
Yeah. It is bulking season. I do unfortunately have to jump. If you're listening to this and you like Survivor, doing a podcast about Survivor, the Survivor Files. I got to talk to somebody in now 5 minutes. Somebody Tyson, Danielle DiLorenzo.
Yeah, I do know her.
Good talking about Suri.
Oh, that's fun for the Survivor 50 stuff.
The Survivor 50 stuff.
This is interesting, is that Survivor told me that anybody who went on Australian Survivor would most likely not be considered for season 50, only to have Suri do both.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's not fair.
They called and told me that.
for somebody who doesn't, their whole thing is they got up off the couch. It seems like we don't even need the couch anymore. If you've got
That's
up off
still
the
the
couch
best
so many
story,
times,
though. That's still the best story,
it's
though.
a great story.
Because everybody's like, well, what did Suri do this time? And they're like, she got off the couch again.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And you're like, yeah. And she's going to prove that she just got off the couch again. Just watch her in a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So
my story on Survivor Danny was that I was getting back on the couch. Is they let me off for a minute and they said, "Oh, the couch seemed like it was fine for him."
Yeah, you're good on the couch.
That's where I'm going to head now. But this was so much fun.
Say hello to
thanks, Brad.
Danielle for me, and we'll talk to you soon. We're staying here though, so don't jump with Brandon. You can go listen to his podcast a different time. We've still got the bolt hole and maybe another story. Okay, bye, Brandon. Have a nice life. Fast Killer B, he's out. Now it's just Danny and I, two best friends.
Two best friends podcasting together. That's our song.
Did you just write that?
Oh, I've been planning that one for weeks.
Okay. Do we want to talk some more stories, or do we want to get into the bolt hole?
Let me see what I've got cashed up in the bolt. Looking through my bolt, searching through. Oh, here's a nice story. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, bolt hole song playing now.
Welcome to my bolt hole. Do.
Okay, we're good. Let's hear it.
Well, sitting at work, I've heard, can be a terrible thing. Underneath the fluorescent lights, no windows, right?
Yeah,
all day long.
Yes.
Where do you find joy in a situation like that? Probably nowhere.
Oh.
Maybe the bathroom, you square yourself away in a lavatory and look at your phone. That might be one way.
Mm-hmm.
But some science. You like science, Tyson?
I love science. One of the only things I believe in.
Yeah, right. Hell science. Well, science has done some sciencing, and they found out that having a photograph of just a cute pet, they say a dog, but really it could be your gerbil, it could be your snake, your tarantula, it could be your wild mongoose. I don't want to judge, but could reduce aggression in the office place and make a fist fight with your coworkers less likely. Now, I don't know how often fist fights break out
at work.
Office. But that's what at work. But that's how they phrase it. Make fist fights with coworkers less likely just by having a picture of your favorite, cutest animal on your desk at all times. So you could look at it when you need that moment to just like lower the temperature.
And this can just be an animal of your choosing. It doesn't have to be one that you know.
Nope. They say it's better if it's a dog you own. Now they go back to dogs. So if it's a dog that you own, or a cat, or an ostrich, or
would my tortoise work?
A kangaroo or a tortoise, and you just love that animal, just that picture is enough to just help you. It reduces blood pressure, reduces stress. It releases cuddle hormones. So, I mean, now be careful if you're in a state of cuddling.
Yes, because that could get you in trouble at work with the HR department.
That's right. So not too much staring. Maybe have a picture frame that can time how long you get to stare at it. Like you hit a button and it gives you like a 5-minute countdown and then shuts it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're in the workforce and you're just like having a hard time getting through the day, just put up a picture of your favorite pet. Could even be your favorite pulsating avatar. Probably has a similar effect.
Yeah.
Or your dog. Tyson's tortoise.
My tortoise.
Maybe I wouldn't use my cat, because that would definitely lead to a fist fight if I had to look at that thing every day on my desk. But
could you
work for you?
Is there any world where you'd want to have an animal of the opposite to trigger more aggression?
No, Tyson, it mentions that. Good question. The person who wrote this article, and this research involved 400 people, so it's no my study 2000.
Yeah. Yes.
They say that pit bulls or chow chows, those two different breeds of dogs, will actually increase aggression.
Okay.
Because they're aggressive dogs.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's got to be a calming, cute animal. Your salamander.
Yes, something chill.
Well.
But I'm thinking there are moments when you want to be more aggressive at the workplace, like when you're asking for a raise and things like that.
Yeah, or you're about to run out onto the football field to play a game.
Yeah, you don't want to get all cuddly.
No, you want to look at a picture of your pit bull.
Yes, I agree.
What's another aggressive animal we could use? Probably if you had like 2 pet lions or
a
tigers.
gorilla, tiger,
a gorilla. Yeah, a gorilla.
An alligator, yeah, anything like that. Snakes are pretty aggressive when you put like food in there. Cobra, king cobra. Yeah, there's a lot of aggressive animals you could use. There's a lot of also passive, like I'm assuming a sloth just makes you want to be
oh my gosh, go to sleep.
Yes. That's interesting. I mean, we've always heard that it's all about the brain, and that's what has all the power to
lie to, right?
Yes. So, well, that's good to know. Could we start a business where we get the cuddliest, cutest animals, like, the ones that are famous on TikTok for being so cute and cuddly? There was the Boo, the little
red
Pomeranian.
Pandas.
Red pandas.
Oh my gosh, those things are so cute.
And just regular baby pandas.
Puppies.
Yeah.
Not ugly puppies. There are ugly puppies. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, but even ugly puppies, if they're teeny tiny, are cute.
Okay,
the size is a big difference. So
you don't need to go to the doctor for your blood pressure medicine, according to this article. You just need a cute picture of a puppy.
Yeah, and it's the article again. It's not us giving medical advice. The article said that probably. What's coming up for you, Danny?
Oh, I got a couple more days here. Then I have to return to the inferno that is home.
You going to do some run barfing the next couple days?
I got really close to barfing today. So I'm hoping that by tomorrow I could finally bring it all up. What a moment.
Good. Yeah. Make sure to get
I was just like,
camera.
I don't want to puke on the train. That was my biggest concern.
Okay.
I want to puke in the privacy of the mountains behind a tree, hopefully. Yeah. But doing it on the train, I already had my puke plan in place on the train. I was going to go straight to the garbage.
Okay. You weren't going to make it to the bathroom on the train.
No, they don't have bathrooms on some of these smaller trains.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what's up for me.
Okay. And then when are you traveling home?
I come home probably Sunday.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to having you back home. I will get in shape for an adventure.
Please do.
And
what about you, Tyson? What's your plan? What's your deal?
I don't know. So I just got back from filming House of Villains. That's not a secret. And doesn't air till beginning of next year. But
what? That's insanely far away.
Till January. But until then, I'm just trying to acclimate to regular life again. That's a little bit of a challenge. It's always more challenging than you think it's going to be. You just are maybe a little bit emotionally distant from people. And no, but it's true. It's true because now you've had to be that way while playing these games and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to put yourself in the mindset of like, cutting throats and then come home and be loving dad
playing
again.
Mind games with your kids.
Yes, exactly. Just constantly having them spinning around, not knowing what is real. So doing that, and then I got to get back on the pickleball courts ASAP.
Okay, dude, go slap some pickle.
I will. Always a pleasure, Vascular D. I'm Tyson Apostol. We're wishing Rob Cesternino the best of luck in Scotland, out there crushing it, hopefully. And we will see you next week, hopefully regular time. But if not, we'll surprise you. Much love, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
We did it, guys.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.